Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. It's Kendall Netmaker here today. And today we are going to be talking about networking tips and the cold call. A lot of people have a hard time with either meeting someone for the first time, whether it's in person, on Zoom, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and so on. And when you finally get to know them, what do you say on the phone, right? So this is good for anyone who is looking at expanding your network and you're trying to build partnerships, you're trying to build your business, you're trying to get a hold of someone that you're trying to either ask a question. So this will definitely help anyone who's watching this right now. So hopefully you take a few notes here that will help you. And so first and foremost, the reason why a lot of people fear networking and meeting people for the first time is because they're scared of rejection. Everyone has that natural tendency to fear rejection. We're afraid to hear no. Um, when I was getting into business for the first time and I had to go to all those networking events that they require sometimes to go to these networking events and go and mingle. Um, Sometimes it can be very intimidating from people from that come from uh, minority groups and also indigenous peoples that go to these networking events where they're usually one of the few people from their background there. It's intimidating for a lot of people, and I could tell you from experience of going through that. I used to try to find ways to get out of that, and if you're nodding your head, that's probably something that you've also gone through as well. Um, Being so scared to go to these networking events that you're trying to talk yourself out of going to them. So I want to share with you why you should just do these things more often, why you should pick up the phone, why you should mingle with people online and so on. Um, Especially if you're trying to build something, and you're going to need people's help to help get you there. One of the probably worst decisions people make, including myself when I was getting to business, is I try to do everything myself. I said, you know what, I could do it. I could do all that myself. I don't need anyone's help. And that doesn't help anyone. It just makes your journey harder and longer. Sometimes all you got to do is pick up the phone, email someone, and you never know what they might say, or they might introduce you to someone else. Okay? The power of outreach. So think of it this way. You'd be surprised how many people I'll reach out to them for the first time, or I'll ask them a question, and they say, you know what, Kendall, I'm surprised no one else has ever asked me that. No one else has ever reached out for that. You're the first person. And I'd be surprised because usually these people are really well known and so on. And then all of a sudden we talk with them, and I'm one of the few people that actually reached out. See, so many people before they actually call someone, or they email someone, or they'll DM someone for an opportunity, they talk themselves out of doing it. So if that's you, you're watching this right now and you're talking yourself out of doing it, you're not alone. But the person that usually gets help, gets what they want, they'll keep just throwing themselves out there and see, sometimes you're going to get people that'll say no. Sometimes you will get people that will hang up the phone on you. But there will be some people that will want to help you. But you have to come from a good place. You have to come from a place where you're not just taking, but you're there to actually help other people in return. You see, that's where people will see potential in you if they want to help you. And you're at a networking event, you're at whatever, a Zoom meeting and so on. If your intentions are good, you're going to get a lot of good help somehow. But you have to keep throwing yourself out there. Um, I just want to give a shout out to a few people that are online. Let's see who's online right now. Hello, hello. Thanks from Facebook. We got some cool people coming on live right now. Um, awesome, awesome. Good to see everyone. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So today, again, we're talking about networking tips and the cold call. And a lot of people fear this, so we're talking about them right now. So, do you ever had an experience that you need some help with? Type it in the comments, and I will definitely do my best to get to your question here right away. So, what do you do when you get someone on the phone, right? I'll tell you my very first phone call that I ever had a chance to do was I was in I was doing a summer job for SGI Salvage. That's for those of you who aren't familiar with that. That's like our insurance for our vehicles. That's what SGI stands for, Saskatchewan Government Insurance. And I was a summer student in North Battleford. And I was when I was working there in North Battleford, I was a shipper. So I'd be shipping, I'd be receiving parts, I'd be shipping, and I would getting car parts, and I'd send them to all across Saskatchewan and the neighboring provinces. When um, I got this email from the university, and on the email it said that there was going to be an education program being offered in North Battleford, and there was like a contact number there. And I remember thinking to myself, I should call this number. I should call it. I should inquire about this. I should call this. And I kept talking myself out of it. Kept talking myself out of it. Finally, I said, I'm just going to call this number and see what happens. So I remember I picked up my little Samsung flip phone, and I remember I called this number, and I finally got on the other line, and this guy called Orist answered the phone. Hello, this is Mrs. Orist, the education program. How can I help you? And I almost froze, and I was stuttering. He told me to calm down because I didn't know how to talk on the phone at that time. And I started to tell my story. I started to share a story with this person. And so when I was sharing a story with the person, I was able, after 5 minutes of telling that story and what I was trying to do, he supported me. He got me in the program. That program I got rejected from after grade 12. One phone call. Crazy, right? So sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you will find people that will help you, but you have to be willing to tell them what you're trying to do. What's your mission? What are you trying? What's your goal? What are you calling them for? Right? Sometimes there'll be people that will try to help you. Hello. Sometimes people they'll message me. They'll say, "Hey, Kendall, my name is so and so, and I'm trying to create this business. I've been following your journey." They'll say, and I just wanted to reach out for a couple of questions I need help with. And sometimes I'll help them if I have a chance. Sometimes I'll even call them. You never know who's going to reach out back to you if you don't ask for the help, if you don't ask for an order, if you don't ask for a partnership, and so on. Tell them what you're trying to do. You never know who's going to help you. Okay? So I hope that helps with anyone who's watching this right now. Looks like we got some cool people from Facebook joining us right now. Awesome, awesome. Good to see you. Oh my goodness, my buddy Andre is in the Bahamas. Oh my goodness, awesome. Right on. All right. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm going to be taking your questions here right now about anything that you have networking related and you're trying to build your network. I could tell you right now, for those of you who are tuning in right now and you're trying to build your network, you're trying to build your relations and so on. If you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn and start building your network. Start building your brand on LinkedIn, because people are there who are looking to work with people possibly like yourself. Okay? LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool that I want everyone who's watching, get on LinkedIn. Okay? Very powerful tool. When you finally get on the phone with someone, what you can do if you're having a hard time with that person, and I assume you either have a LinkedIn profile or some kind of Facebook profile, and it's branded in your branding. Let's pretend it's a professional branded already. It has a Facebook cover that's nice. It has a nice profile photo. You can actually walk someone on the phone with your profile. Hey, if you go to my Facebook, hey, if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see, how we help this person or how we worked with this company and so on, or the things that we do here. Hey, if you go to my website right here while on the phone, type in this website. If you go to this section on the homepage right there, yeah, right there, that's where you'll find everything that we do. You can guide the conversation from the phone. What's even better is you can now do it from Zoom. Okay, it's awesome. Let's see. We got more people jumping on right now. Sheldon from LinkedIn. Good to see you. We have Adrian from Phoenix. Good to see you. Also from LinkedIn. Okay, you can see we got a lot of people on LinkedIn right now. whoever's watching, get on LinkedIn. There's people that are looking to work together. Okay. LinkedIn is a very good networking social media tool that everyone should be using. Okay. Again, whoever's tuning in right now, we are talking about networking, okay, and how to use the cold call to help you get more of what you want, okay, and more importantly, to build relations. Because I highly suggest that when you make a phone call, you don't ask for a sale the first call from someone that you don't even know. That's the easiest way to get a door slammed in your face and a phone cut off from you. Okay. You always try to set up a meeting. On the meeting, you educate them, you inspire them, you share with them how you've helped other people. At the end of that meeting, you ask permission to present what you do and how you can help that person that you're on the phone with or on a Zoom call. That to me is the best formula that has worked for every person I've worked with, and every coaching program that we've been through that's worked. That's the way it works. Okay, you'll get way more yeses, and you'll waste less time than picking up the phone, dialing, asking. No one's gonna trust you on that phone call. So when you're trying to build relations and you're on the phone with people, get a meeting. Okay, that should be your goal. Get the meeting. Get the meeting. Okay. So that's what I would highly suggest anyone who's watching this right now, um, and building that network that way through LinkedIn and getting on the phone. And everyone who has a website, you should have some kind of booking form to book you or to call you, and so on. And on that form that people fill out, that's going to be your lead that you would call up with people, and that's how you would follow up with people. But if you don't have all those systems in place, it's tougher to do that. And if anyone who's watching this right now, you're needing help setting that up, I can refer you to one of the people that we work with. Be happy to do that. All you got to do is message me. Go to my site right in the corner there. Where is it? Right there. Go to candlenetmaker.com, and I'd be happy to help you there. Okay. All right. We got some questions. Let's see. Corey is asking, what would you do for local business and getting people to support? I need a more, what's, can you elaborate on that question a little bit more? Because I don't know what you mean exactly. What would you do for local business and getting people to support? I'm assuming you have a business already and you're trying to find ways to support other people. Do you just want to elaborate on that really quickly? We got someone on Facebook. What do you think about the letterheads explaining what you want and how they can help and what they can get from you if that is negotiable? On your letterhead, you can definitely put your slogan of something like a promise statement of how you help people, but keep it very simple. Okay. Don't make it complicated. Don't like, so your letterhead basically says that I'm a professional. This is my letterhead. All of my stuff's on here, whether it's a letter to introduce yourself to a company or organization, to apply for something, or to submit a proposal. Maybe your letterhead's on that as well. But it's basically to show that you're a professional and you're branded as a professional, and people who read this should take it seriously. That's what you're trying to get across when you have a letterhead. Okay. And so it's going to be a little tough to get people to, if you put a slogan on there about how you help them, summarize it really into like one small sentence if you can, and put it at the bottom or at the top of your letterhead somehow, or embed it in your logo if you can. All right. So again, today we're talking about all things networking and the cold call. Everyone hates I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people don't like cold calling. I could tell you, I don't sell coaching or any speaking services or any virtual trainings over email. It's always on the phone. Why? Because when you're getting on the phone, you can really understand what the person is trying to solve, how you can help them. You can't do that on an email. Like it's just not professional. People do business with you, right? So they want to talk to you. They want to hear your voice. They want to see how your mannerisms are. They want to trust you. People do business with people they trust, right? So how can you build that trust? Well, you can get on the phone, you can do Zoom like this and actually see them, which you'll probably find better, more success if you do things like Zoom, video conferencing, video calls with people you're trying to build relations with. Okay, so I hope that helps. And let's see, we got some other people asking questions. What's the best way to get bigger companies to help you? I need you to elaborate on that a little more because I don't know exactly what you're asking help for. Okay. Okay. Again, all things networking. You're trying to call people, you're trying to build your network. We talked about LinkedIn, how important it is. We rarely have in-person events, so I can't really speak to that. But if you ever get a chance to go back to a live networking event and you're trying to talk to people, sometimes you have to just throw yourself out there and initiate conversation. Now, let's pretend you actually have someone you're trying to talk to them. Okay. Your goal is not to be the one who's speaking. Your goal is to be the person that's asking questions, whether it's in person or on the phone or through Zoom or video conferencing of whatever platform you choose. Your goal is to be the question asker. You're listening you're nodding, you're giving, mannerisms that you're listening. After that person just spent how many minutes talking about themselves and their business and so on, they feel good about themselves. You made them feel good by asking certain questions that will get that out of them. After you guys either part in person or online, that person's going to remember you because you know what? You helped them to feel good about themselves. People like talking about themselves, whether it's in person, on the phone, online, and so on. So in networking situations, you are the question asker. You are not the speaker. It's tough, but that's the way it is. And that's how you get more people working with you and they'll remember you because you're the question asker. You made them feel good throughout that. Does this all making sense? All right. Awesome. Awesome. So again, if any of you have any more questions or you need any more tips on that, I'd be happy to help. Give me a shout on my website. Go to Kendall Netmaker. Hold on a sec. Can't even. Right in the corner here. CandleNetmaker.com. Right there. Okay. And I'd be happy to help you there, whether it be through any of our programs or coaching and so on that we offer. Okay. So again, it's Candle Netmaker. Happy to help. And for those of you who are just tuning in, we just finished talking about networking and the cold call and how important it is to try to do both, especially if you're trying to build something, okay, and you're trying to work on things. I have time for one more phone call here. Just give me a second. All right. Corey says, I have a clothing brand and I'm looking for tips and advice to build my audience and reach people. Also converting customers. I've had ads and everything out and seem to be missing something. Corey, I don't know what your clothing is, but I'm assuming it's pretty cool. So I talked about this on a few live streams ago about if you have a brand and you're trying to sell it, your name is very important. What your name is. It should be easy to say. Okay. Your designs better be cool and simple. Keep it very simple so that when you're screen printing your designs, keep it 1 to 2 colors if you can in the beginning and eventually grow from that. But you want it to be simple and you want it to be memorable so that when someone sees it on the street, they know it's your brand. Okay. So don't make it all crazy and whatnot. Make it simple. Okay. How do you get people to your website? Well, you can do things like giveaways. You can do giveaways on your Facebook page, your Instagram page. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and maybe a lot of the established brands will know this, but Instagram right now has one of the highest converting places for apparel right now. So if you have a clothing company, you're trying to sell even any other product, they have an Instagram shop option on there where you can list your stuff and start building your network there. I'd say Instagram and Facebook are where people are buying right now, buying products. So hope that helps there, Corey. Let's see. Shelbs is saying, how can you strengthen the connection between leadership and its people during this time of COVID? Now that we can't get together, what would be some tips to strengthen communication? Good question. Um, I think now more than ever, a lot of people are using this live streaming, Zoom, FaceTime. So it's become easier to communicate on the fly. I feel that in if you don't have if you can't do Zoom right away, what I would recommend is that if you're from a community, especially our First Nations communities, and sometimes you can't just call people left and right, or you can't have Zoom meeting because you're all doing stuff. There's an app that I use. It's called Voxer. If you type that in, Voxer, and it's like a walkie-talkie app. So you can actually walkie-talkie each other throughout the whole day instead of making a whole phone call. It's like an audio message, like those old school walkie talkies. That's what it is. It's kind of like that on your phone. So I feel that's the easier way to keep people in the loop with everything that's going on instead of like a Facebook Messenger of reading a long post. I'd rather, if I'm on the go, I just want to do a Voxer. I'll do a little, hey, this is just an update. I was just at this place and this is what happened and so on, and then sign out, send it. Everyone can listen to that. That to me is faster and more efficient. Um, we don't have to have in-person meetings right now because we have Zoom and we have all this technology stuff that we can all be doing on our phone. Okay, so those are a couple tips there, Shelb, that I hope that can help you. Okay, all right. Hope that helps. It's again Kendall Netmaker here. I am. You can definitely follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. And if you're ever interested in any of our coaching programs, you can reach out to me on my website and we'll definitely start a conversation there. So today we talked about networking tips, the cold call, and how we can use it to help one another. Okay. So hopefully today on the tips that I share with you about asking the right questions and making sure that you're the question asker when you're networking with people, you're trying to build relationships, right? So you have to make the other person feel good about themselves. The other person wants to talk about themselves. The person wants to answer questions. So it's your job to be the question asker. When you get them on the phone, that's what your job is to do. Be the question the question asker. Okay. So you're asking questions. When you're doing it in person, it's the same thing. Okay. The cold call. If you're trying to build a relationship with someone, if you're calling them for the first time or you're even inboxing for the first time, don't ask for something right away. That comes later. You have to build a relationship you have to build trust before you do that. The way you build trust is by meeting the person on the phone, through a Zoom call, whatever that might be. Focus on booking the meeting. That's what I would recommend, okay? Focus on booking the meeting because that's the way that you build the trust in that meeting. You'll build the trust at the end. You ask for the offer, okay? You ask for the order, the opportunity, whatever that might be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kendall Netmaker here. I hope you all have an amazing day. If you have any more questions, reach out to me, kendallnetmaker.com. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next live stream. See ya.